This is the story of how I made my short film, Rocket Rider. Making it has been a steep learning curve and taught me skills I never thought I'd master. But its origins start with another film project.
This is the Crash Spitfire set. It really is mind-blowing how good this is.
But that all ended in failure 5 years ago, in 2011.
Well, it's 3 days before our shoot, and I've just been shafted by one of our suppliers.
This is me, Ross Bradley, a fresh-faced 17-year-old in 1993. Being a teenager in the late 80s and early 90s meant home movie technology was primitive compared to today. But even if I was just daydreaming or creating crude stop-motion animation with plasticine and an 8mm camera, I've always been obsessed with filmmaking. It was also a good excuse to blow things up. Go. Or film silly stunts. Or make appalling pop videos for our band. By the time I was working as a trainee cameraman, and later as an editor, I'd learnt enough to photograph and edit my mate's short films. But for one reason or another, not for want of trying, I never succeeded in making my own. Now 35 years old, I'm living in London with my wife and 10-month-old son, working as a TV editor, cutting drama docs and science and history documentaries. My career is going well. I even edited a feature film a few years earlier. But deep down, I yearned to direct my own film. Needing a new challenge, I decide it's time to finally go for it. It can't be that hard, can it? I write a sci-fi script called Doppelgänger. The film starts when a test flight goes badly wrong and the crew of an RAF Tornado are forced to eject. But when navigator Alex Kavanagh lands, he discovers he's in Nazi-occupied Normandy during the Second World War, 66 years before he took off. There he comes face to face with his very own doppelganger, Spitfire pilot Christopher Taylor, just before a platoon of German soldiers arrive. Will Alex Kavanagh and his new ally be able to evade the German army and find a way home? Being a film about a man who has a doppelganger, my first challenge is to find a good actor to fill the shoes of two men. At a local graduate performance, I discover a promising young actor called Tom Holloway. Tom is soon on board and we begin discussing his dual roles.
I'm going to try and make Alex and Christopher so different physically. Yeah. You know, Alex is going to be really grounded to the ground, really kind of peck heavy. He's a tough guy, whereas Christopher's a little boy.
The modern day story is built around a test flight in a Tornado jet. So to film that sequence, I need access to a Tornado cockpit. Amazingly, I discover one on a specially converted trailer. It seems perfect, and the owner is more than willing to let us use the cockpit for my film. But a problem soon becomes apparent. To film the ejection sequence, I'll need to remove a seat from the cockpit. That will be difficult, require specialist lifting gear, and will be extremely time-consuming to do in the studio. I need to find an additional seat. Undeterred with this minor problem, I plough on with my project. At great cost, I have a World War II Spitfire pilot's flying suit made, complete with Mae West and authentic dog tags. A company called Lewis Leathers donate a pair of Type 36 flying boots.
Wow. Check out those bad boys.
And an antique dealer sells me a genuine World War II flying helmet, face mask and goggles. With my wife's help, I film some camera tests in our kitchen and animate the results in After Effects. The experiment is to see if I can realistically create the doppelganger effect. It's only a crude attempt, but it works. This visual effect technique will allow me to combine Tom's two performances to make one single take. The pressure is now on Tom to find enough variation in his characters to produce two individual performances.
It's really weird because as I said, I did the two scripts totally differently, totally separate, as though they were two different parts. And then I went back and I sort of saw all the similarities.
Tom is really relishing the challenge of playing two characters, and so to help him understand the difference between the two men, I take him to RAF Hendon to see the aircraft that the men fly. A Tornado jet and a World War II Spitfire.
Does it help to see the two in comparison?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, and it works with the mentality of the characters as well. You know, Alex being so absolutely driven with his career and everything, and you've got to be sort of take charge of that.
Would you like to be in one of these for real?
Definitely. I don't know if it's just sort of the mentality of the character coming through. I've got a real urge to now fly one, haven't I? Very fast.
As Tom gets under the skin of his characters, back home, the enormity of the project is beginning to become apparent to me.
I've got a board over there, and I rub one thing off and put 3 more things on. Theoretically, I'm meant to be filming in October. This doesn't even seem possible at the moment. There's so much to do.
The standalone ejection seat is still a worry.
Yes, of course.
But after a number of phone calls, a company that specialises in servicing ejection seats agrees to help.
That sounds perfect.
The owner promises to supply me with modern flying gear, a parachute harness, and most important of all, an ejection seat. Their help is crucial to the modern day part of the story. Without it, I can't make my film. Another tricky prop still to source for the World War II part of the story is a crashed Spitfire. But recently, 2 replicas have turned up in the most unexpected place.
This is what I love about eBay. A full-size Spitfire. Only £8,000. Perfect. Unfortunately, this one's been sold. And then this dude got one on his roof.
But all of my leads are dead ends. I'll have to find another way to do the sequence. But nothing is going to stop me now.
I've got to keep pushing myself, you know, I can't give up. Because if I give up now, that's it. It's game over.
But my tenacity might soon be rewarded. Out of the blue, I receive a call with an exciting lead. A mediator has put me in touch with a private collector, and at a secret location in a different country, he might have one of the items I'm looking for.
This is the Crash Spitfire set. It really is mind-blowing how good this is. the whole setting and everything. And the owners here are fantastic. They're going to meet the skid marks in the grass. So it looks like the plane's come in and crashed. And also lop off the top of one or two trees to make it look like it's whacked them on the way in. Doing a recce is really helpful because it makes you think about the sequences and how you're going to break down the sequences into the series of shots.
So with the clock ticking and a plane to catch, I quickly run around the Spitfire with my camera, blocking out the camera angles.
Okay, this is 20F. This will be ploughed up earth from the ground. Alex's feet walking in. 20G, this will be roughly what it is. The cowling will be steaming, hot. And then in the distance, we'll see Alex, so he'll be coming up through there. This is Alex walking towards the Spitfire, and he's going to put his hands over it, and then obviously my camera's overexposing, but he'll touch it, and we'll put in some bullet holes, I think, somehow, and then he'll look into the cockpit. This is going to be a bit of jiggery pokery because we'll use Jeff's cockpit back in England for the dials and stuff. So he'll look in. We're going to have coal dust and water sprayed over the Spitfire to make it look like the engine's exploded. That's going to be all there. I'd actually like to use this view mirror. I think we could do something fun with that. We could pull focus, maybe see Christopher Taylor's feet for the first time.
Most of the elements needed for my film are now in place. Tom is going to be my actor and is taking his new role seriously.
You can't see much of the pilot at all, can you?
I've also had costumes made for his World War II character and sourced an original World War II flying helmet, goggles and face mask. A specialist aviation company has offered to supply the ejection seat, parachutes and harnesses in return for publicity. And a private collector is supplying a complete standalone Tornado cockpit. Combined with the Mark 9 Spitfire in France, I'm almost ready to film. All I need to locate now is a platoon of German soldiers. And at this moment in time, all inquiries are leading me to one place. Yorkshire.
Well, this morning we're in Scarborough, just about to head off to a place called Pickering to meet 70 German reenactors that are guarding a railway station with a V1 missile, just to see if they'd like to be involved in the film. And should be an interesting day. It's quite a bizarre world we seem to be entering at the moment, but I'm rather enjoying it. It seems quite fun.
Wow. Oh my god, it's amazing. That view is quite something.
Even though they're only pretending, driving up to a Nazi roadblock still feels intimidating.
Hi, we're meant to be meeting Neil from Dad's Right. And Neil is by the V1. Okay, and the professor's uniform. In the white, yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Das Reich are a filmmaker's dream. Not only do they look authentic, but they are willing to act for the camera. Because of the recce, we decide to film all the scenes with the Germans on the North Yorkshire moors. Everything we need is within 3 miles of Lewisham Station. I can even use the station master's house for my Spitfire pilot's home. Everything is falling into place. What could possibly go wrong?
It's 3 days before our shoot, and I've just been shafted by one of our suppliers. He's meant to be supplying us with parachutes, parachute harnesses, and ejector seat. And now he's just landed me with a bill of 1,500 quid, which originally he said he'd do it for free. So at the moment, I'm a bit screwed.
As everyone else around me was partying,
It's absolutely mental. London's full of flash mob centres, and it's really surreal.
my film was rapidly collapsing. Even though I tried to put on a brave face, I knew my project had hit the buffers. I had no other option but to cancel the shoot and cease production of Doppelgänger. In the next episode, from the ashes of Doppelgänger, a new project is born.
It's going to be a film called Rocket Rider, which should be very visual anyway.
I begin building a jet cockpit set,
The amount of time it's taken to build this has been unbelievable.
and filming finally begins with a new actor.
My name's Stephen Critchley. I'm a rocket rider.
So take my hands and don't look back. See surprise in my eyes. The feeling that you had tonight will soon be realized.